It's anything that I would have regret is always in hindsight. At the time, the idea never even crossed my mind. And man, I don't necessarily want to get into it a ton. But there, man, nobody knows the sacrifice that these guys go through. Nobody knows the uh what it takes to get to this level and what it takes to win. And I've seen Anthony been beat up before and him come back and beat people. I've seen him do it multiple times. And first of all, that call is really not my call to make. I'm not his head coach. I was, you know what I mean? That's not my call to make. But even if it was my call to make, I don't think I would have changed much. And I know it's hard to say. And I can tell you guys like, yeah, I would have stopped the fight, but at the time I didn't even think about it, man. It never crossed my mind. Anthony is a warrior. His name is Lionheart for a reason. And I know his code. I know his rule. Him and I we're cut from the same cloth. We come from the same place. And I would never, ever want anybody to step in one of my fights. Guys, if you want out of the fight, you can get out of the fight. You know what I mean? Like, if you want out of the fight, you'll find a way out. You can, stick your neck up. And he did that a couple of times. He stuck his neck up and he realized that, no, I cannot do this, So, man, like I said, I don't want to dive too deep into it, but the decision is the decision. There's nothing I could do from that going for, the only thing I could do is look forward now. I can't go back and change anything that was done. I can only make adjustments going forward, and I will definitely it'll definitely be in the back of my mind going forward. I don't know if I'll make a different decision or not, but it's something that I'll definitely look at in the future. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. We're like I said, we're cut from the same cloth, bro. We're brought up in the Midwest. Both of us are. We come from a place where you fight every weekend. There was no weight classes when we started. You fought whoever was in front. You fought everybody. It didn't matter. We both have 20, 30 some amateur fights. You know what I mean? Like both of us have 60, 70 fights, pro and amateur all together. Like this is not something that we just started last year. You know what I mean? Like we've been doing this for 15 years, bro. Like we're cut from the same cloth. So do I understand it? Absolutely. I live by it. Yeah. It's our code. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I do. Yeah, you have to, man. You have to. You absolutely have to. I can't stress this enough. Uh, and you have to be smart about how you do it. This is one thing that I think I've done just about better than anybody in the UFC. I think I've done a very good job of this. You listen. There in any professional sports, take fighting out of it. This is soccer, football, and I know our football is different from your football. You pick either one. Basketball, baseball. You guys, any professional athlete, right? Doesn't matter what sport they're in. The window of opportunity is so small, right? So we have to get in. We have to make money. We have to make that money work for us, and then we're out, right? Because like we're talking like 5 years, 10 years at max of our life, right? So you have to make a lot of money within that time, and then use that money to make it work for you, right? So I'm actually doing real estate. I do a ton of real estate. I have rental properties. I do flips. I have Airbnbs. I do a ton of that stuff. So for Cejudo to say that he's going out and doing real estate, that's incredible. And that's up to him, but I do think you absolutely have to have some transition of income, right? Because, man, I know some of these guys, you wouldn't believe some of the money that these guys are spending. And I'm talking about like real money. Like some of these guys are living on 30, 40, $50,000 a month budget, and they don't have it. I'm telling you guys, they do not have it. And it's all cash flow. Like whatever they make, they spend. So if they're making $1 million, they're spending $1,000,001. It's just, it doesn't work. It will not work. The second that they blow their knee out or they get cut, it's the money train's gone. And then what? And then what? And then you're stuck with a bunch of bills, and no money. So you have to have something to show. You have to have something to show for all this, the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into professional sports. No, none of them are doing shit. That's the problem. I would say 5%, 10%
Whoa.
at most. And we're talking about the guys that are making like real money, like big money. There's not very many guys that are like middle of the road like me that aren't making. I'm not making superstar money. I make good money, but I'm not making superstar money. But these guys, they're man, they live off that money. I live off my gym. The gym pays my bills, right? Like the UFC money,
is extra. This other stuff is extra. So like that's what these guys don't understand is you can't live off this money. You have to have this money to make more money. You know, and that's what they don't get. But to answer your question, no, it's sad. I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many people are going to be done with this sport and they're going to look back on it and they'll be doing this for 10 years and they won't have a damn thing to show for it. And it breaks my heart. This is one of my true passions. This is one of my true passions when I'm done fighting is I want to help fighters understand financial literacy to how to make money within this and then make that money work for you so you're not broke at the end of it all.